Hi guys, this is Sushant here.
Hey guys, this is Sundar here.
So we are the digital empaths.
Digital empath, what does that mean?
Well, I came across this term Sundar while watching a very interesting course on LinkedIn Learning by Stefan Mumal.
Stefan Momau.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Okay.
and the topic of that course was about that we all need to be an empath in this current digital world.
Okay. Okay.
And the term empath actually means is that anyone who understand the emotions of the people, okay? Someone who respects, someone who understands the difference between the rational and the emotional aspect
Okay.
of the conversation, okay?
That's interesting.
Someone who consider the client or the employees as a humans and not as a commodity.
Got it.
Okay, so I think we in this digital world, I think we all need to inculcate that emotional element that somehow I feel we are losing it. I think we need to bring that into our day-to-day work.
That is interesting. That is
Yeah,
very deep.
yeah. I think I loved it. I think you should
Yeah.
definitely check it out.
I will. Yeah.
It's a very good course. Something
Nice. So, what are we going to talk about?
Well, today I have a very interesting topic to discuss on. This topic is around augmented analytics. As you see, since 2018, we are seeing a lot of buzz around augmented analytics, and I think Gartner has spoken a lot about it. There are a lot of research papers being published in that area, and I feel there is some kind of an evolution has started happening. Okay, if you remember our traditional BI world, the tools like Cognos and business objects, and how we have gradually in the last decade or so evolved towards maybe Tableaus and Power BIs.
Right.
But I'm seeing again some trend shift is happening. Companies are actually moving towards something they call it as augmented analytics. So I'm very curious to know from you, Sundar, have you come across this term? Do you think that it's going to revolutionize the way the BI industry is being perceived as, or the way the insights are getting consumed?
Right. Yeah, interesting you ask. So, one, having done a couple of projects in this space, especially in the consulting area, and also having done some reading and research, what I found was that in this evolution, you put it well. You said there were a bunch of tools like Cognos, and then there were a bit more self-service tools like Tableau. Tie back that word empath or having empathy. You also need to have empathy towards the business and the business problems. The more I have thought about augmented analytics, the more it seems like it's adding that business context to data and analytics to bring insights at the focus is on insights generation. That is one evolution I'm seeing. And I think that is the right direction. And therefore I think this is an area that is here to stay. That's one of the immediate thoughts, that I have. How about you? What has been your perspective?
I'm very interested to hear your perspective on this. You use this word insight, I think, which is, I feel, in the last decade or so, a very overused word. And I think when we started looking at these dashboards and scorecards, the vendors have made multiple promises that you look at this sexy looking dashboard or a scorecard and you're going to get some really meaningful insights. It's going to really change your business. It's going to enable you to take action. But are you saying that what the self-service world was offering us, those dashboards and scorecards, they're not meeting their promise? They're not delivering what the business users are expecting?
Interesting. I have 2 points of view over here. One is that with your self-service BI as well, you still have a dependency on an analyst to actually pull the right, elements. One, have an understanding of the business, and then pull the right metrics or KPIs to actually create a picture. The other aspect is that we were working with a leading consumer products company in the US, and we were talking about this concept of directed work. The idea being that your insights are intelligent enough that they're directing an operations team on what could be your best course of action based on the current situation. They said you have these huge command centers, big TV screens, lots of numbers on there. What your traditional BI would do, but you're not really now still sure what number do I look at, what number do I not look at.
That's interesting.
So they say that the right insight at the right time, in the right context, to the right channel. If you can give me that, my job is sorted. I can only focus on the things that are troubling me the most right now. And so I can get going with the actual work that I need to do. I think that's where I'm seeing there is an evolution for the business user as well, in terms of how they will even look to consume something like this. This was an interesting thing that at least I learned while working on that consulting assignment, to get that perspective from the client.
But that's, I think it also reminds me of a recent program that me and my team are also driving. And we are working directly with the CFO office. It's for a large technology brand.
Okay.
And they came up with a very similar problem statement that we have these sexy looking BMS report is there. It provides all the information around how these financial KPIs are moving ups and downs. It's talking about your volumes, your net revenues, your margins. But it does not talk about why certain movements are happening. It's not explaining the reasons behind that. So that causal aspect is missing. And on top of that, they're also interested in knowing just every surge and decline is considered as an anomaly. Or maybe it's just a seasonality. True. Or maybe some kind of a trend is there. So how do we make the current dashboards or the current scorecards more intelligent and make it also personalized for the user who is consuming it? So right now, as a part of this program, we are catering to 4 different personas. We're looking after sales operations, we're looking after country general manager, we're looking after 4P, and we're also looking at the finance. So these are the 4 personas we are catering to. So we feel what self-service BI was not doing a good job of providing the reasoning that why certain things were happening, that the augmented analytics space is filling that void to some extent. And we have heard a lot about that. There's a lot of innovation is happening in this space. There's a whole power of natural language generation, machine learning is also there. So we are also dabbling with that particular piece. So what's your take on that?
It's obviously human nature that when you show them graphs or charts, there is one level of perception that they're able to bring. But we're in a world where we're consuming so much information through WhatsApp, through small messages, that has its value. The more I've thought about it, the more it seems like a dashboard is good from when you're sitting relaxed and trying to look at numbers. A dashboard is better. But when you're in the middle of a day trying to get things done, a quick message which tells you this is your problem, go solve it, is way better. And this is your message, these are the causes why you have a problem. That's probably way better. Probably one question I had for you was, we talk so much about natural language generation. Have you seen that is a value add to augmented analytics as a space? What is your perspective on that?
See, I think that's a very interesting question. So in our organization, we work with a lot of large enterprises, in the CPG space, in the retail space, and there is a very interesting lesson we learned in the last couple of years, working with some of the large executives, that people are somehow getting bored and tired of looking at those dashboards and scorecards. What they're looking for is simple English narratives, something which is more human friendly. I still remember a conversation with a head of supply chain operations where he mentioned that my ideal Monday morning is I come to the office at 9 a.m. and I open my mailbox and I just want to see one email with 5 bullet points. What happened over the weekend?
Interesting.
What actions I need to take? And third is how the coming week looks like. Can you help me predict that week? But all needs to be translated to simple English, no statistical jargons, no mathematical formulas there, no graphs. I'm tired of those control charts and box and whiskers. Just talk me in English. So we feel the natural language generation, which is still, I think, is quite in a naive state. I think there are some companies who have done a very fantastic job, like Narrative Sciences is there, Wordsmith is there, ARIA is there, who are actually leading this pack of natural language generation. But we feel when you put these platforms into the business context, you still need to do a lot of rule-based narrative generation. And that's a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. And especially considering the complexity of the business, the type of dimensions and metrics we play with, I think generating these narratives is really a daunting task.
Do you think it's going to be an evolution over time?
Of course.
Of course.
I think we are also on the same journey. We started a journey with the rule-based narrative generation approach for some of our clients. And now what we are seeing is that certain rules or certain narratives which are standard across the different business functions or across the industries, those things can be standardized or automated. So the moment you see there is a pattern in some kind of a language, some kind of nomenclature, those pieces are ripened enough to go for automation. But things which are very specific to that function, specific to that particular vertical, I think we still need to do a more rule-based approach. That's what our learning so far.
That's interesting. I think one of the things I see, one of my closing remarks over here would be that augmented analytics, one of the problems I see it trying to solve, apart from generating insights, of course, is there was a statistic I read somewhere that said that 77% of all the big data analytics work that goes into production never even gets adopted. That's a lot of money being burnt for no adoption.
Absolutely.
I hope and see that this is something that should turn that corner. That's one of the things I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my closing remark for today's chat would be that the fundamental problem that we feel that augmented analytics is going to revolutionize the way the BI and the analytics is perceived is the poor adoption rate. I think both traditional BI as well as self-service BI has not been able to deliver a good adoption rate. I think we're still talking about 35 to 37% adoption rate. That's a very small number, considering if you are working with a large CPG or a large retail brand which have 10,000, maybe 100,000 employees working over there. That's a very small number.
Really small.
And I think we are very bullish about that the whole augmented analytics space is going to bring that intelligence. It's going to improve this adoption rate. And I think the moment the adoption rate improves, I think we will see the whole data-driven culture being created. That's what I feel.
That's interesting.
Thanks, Sundar. Thanks for
Absolutely, my
having me.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Great being here.
Hey guys, thanks for listening us. And in our next weekly video, we'll discuss more around some of the latest developments which are happening in the augmented analytics space, as well as what are the latest trends we are seeing in the digital ecosystem. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Right.